Hello, Pastor Linda. Or Casey? Doc Casey? Doc Angie? I got Doc Linda, Doc Angie, Doc Casey already online. The three doctors, the Trinity. Hey, Snow. Hello, hello, Snow. Now you see, Snow, when I saw you, saw almost got all informal here. Good to see you. All right, just a few more minutes, and then we'll take off with tonight's Bible study. All right. Just another minute or so, and we will get going. Hello, Jasmine, Jaleesa. Miss Hunter. All right. Well, let's get going with tonight's Bible study. Welcome to tonight's Bible study. It is a basic read through the Bible, and we take this from a believer's perspective, from a Christian perspective. And if that's not what you're interested in, you're free to just walk away from this Bible study. We do not apologize for our beliefs and for the direction we like to take in teaching our beliefs. But if this is not what you're interested in, just don't watch the video. All right, so tonight we're going to take a look at Daniel, the 3rd chapter, verse 13 through 26. Verse 13 through 26. And tonight I'm going to move through that set of scripture at a pretty good pace to make sure I can cover all the material tonight. So we'll look at Daniel, the 3rd chapter, verse 13 through 26. And for a topic tonight, we want to use for a topic, anticipating box freeing favor. Box freeing favor. Okay, as in box, B-O-X, freeing favor. Anticipating box freeing favor. You get it? So right away, you get what we're going to talk about tonight, right? We're going to talk about how to anticipate that favor is going to free you from being boxed in. Because in your life, there's going to come a time when there are going to be some principles that are different from yours that you're going to make you feel like you're boxed in. All right? So, yep, anticipating box freeing favor. Now, I like the BFF. So tonight we're going to have us a new BFF. We're going to have anticipating our hashtag BFF, box freeing favor. All right. That's what we're going to do tonight. All right. Because again, there are going to be these times when you're going to feel like life has you boxed in. All right. When it's going to feel like there are those who are trying to force, okay, you to view life the same way they do. Trying to force you into their box. And they're going to believe they have a right to do that. Okay? And so you're going to be aware of that. When that happens, you need to start to anticipate that God is going to send you a special deposit of favor that's going to free you. In other words, when you find yourself heading in that direction, don't fear, don't sweat. God is going to meet you where that block comes, and I need you to believe tonight that he's going to free you from it. All right? Exactly how it does it is going to be God's business. But you need to start to anticipate that it's available to you when the time is right. All right? All right. So let's get going by reading this set of scripture. Then we'll make some more commentary as we go. Again, I will read tonight at a pretty good pace. Daniel 3rd chapter 13 through 26. Now, this is coming after King Nebuchadnezzar has already told everybody, do it my way or I'm going to take you out. Well, the Hebrew men were okay with following the king until he challenged them to go against their beliefs. So there are many times you have to go with some things in the world in which we live. People work on Sundays. Don't be mad at people at the restaurant on Sunday because they're working. That's just the system we're in. There are many things. But if it's going to cause you to go against what you fundamentally believe, then maybe you need to take a stand. You get it? So it doesn't mean that you're a rebel with no cause. It means you're aware. So in this case, the king was forcing them to change their beliefs, not continue to believe and work for him. They were getting the work done. There was nothing wrong with their performance. They were performing real well. Nothing wrong. They were top performers, but someone didn't like them being top performers with their beliefs. Let me tell you something. Someone doesn't like you being a top performer with your beliefs, but you hang in there. Watch this. So here's what happens. So the next time king comes after, this is the second round. He's already come after once. He's coming again. They didn't bow the first time. He wants to bow the second time. Furious with rage, verse 13, Nebuchadnezzar summoned Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These are the Hebrew young men. And he brought them before the king, and Nebuchadnezzar said to them, is it true that you men don't want to regard and worship the golden image that I have set up? Now, when I sound the horn and start to play the music, when the music plays, I need you to dance. All right? I need you to worship and throw down immediately, or if you don't, I'm going to throw you into the fiery furnace. If you don't party with us and get drunk, we're not going to invite you to the party anymore. If you don't fight and name call against the people, we're going to call everybody you're a weakling. You get it? Someone's going to try to put you in their box. But we're talking about anticipating box freeing favor. All right? You don't miss church so you can go hang out with somebody because that's your choice. That's what you do. You don't hang out. Okay, I know it's innocent. It's golf, but you don't golf on Sunday. And now they say, well, you'll never golf with us again. You get it? That can happen to you. Watch it when people try to put you in their box. You see, when you're anticipating box free and favor, you're not exactly asking for the favor, but you firmly believe that favor will come to you when you need it. You're not exactly asking for it. So it's not, Lord, give me favor when tomorrow comes. No, you're walking forward, fully believing already, anticipating that if you need it, it's going to show up. All right? So you take actions that keep you going in the direction of your destiny and direction for your life and your belief system, regardless of what else is happening around you. People will try to change the way you talk, the way you walk, the way you think, to make you fit their mold. Now, why do they do that? It's easier for people to have you to conform to them than to try to take time to learn you. Let me say that again. It's easier for people to try to force you to conform to them than for them to take time and learn them. Let me tell you something. Love requires you to get out of your box and learn how to love somebody else. That's a little bit different. You get it? But if someone has to force you, then watch it. God is going to bless you and show you a way out of it. It may be an intellectual way out of it, maybe some other way out of it, but he's going to grant you a miracle. All right? So here it is. So he said, do it. So then Nebuchadnezzar, he was furious in verse 19 with Shadrach, and his attitude toward them changed. He was furious with them, and his attitude toward them changed because they refused to yield to his way. Sometimes parents, your children aren't going to like you very well because you refuse to change and learn their way and follow their way. Likewise, in some cases, children are walking in the right direction. They're doing all the right things. They're following the Lord. And they may have parents who want them to come away from following the Lord. Don't you change. God's going to show you a way out. There are some very, very good, bright scientists in the world who don't want to acknowledge that they know God. Don't you let them stop you from acknowledging God. If they can't accept your science with God, then it might be time for you to do something else. Believe that God will give you a way for someone to appreciate you as a scientist while you still love God. You get it? Don't you bow to someone trying to change you into who they need you to be. Anticipating box-freeing favor will let you walk and be calm about it. Let me say it again. Anticipating BFF will let you walk and be calm about it. People think you don't have a care in the world and nothing's bothering you, but you say, I'm all right where I'm going. Hashtag, I'm all right with where I'm going. Okay, I know I give long hashtags, but that's just me. Don't box me into your short ones. All right, here we go. So he ordered the furnace to be heated hotter. They're going to threaten you more. They're going to say, I'm not going to play with you anymore. I'm not going to invite you to my party. Oh, you mean to tell me you don't have a PhD? You can't come with us. Tough. Tell them you just missed your best opportunity to get to know a real person. You get it? They're going to say things against you. Don't you let those stop you. Anticipate box free in favor. So he heated it hotter. He put the pressure against them, trying to scare them. Someone's going to try to scare you into being different. Tell you, well, I don't love you anymore. Kids love to throw. Babies love to throw at their parents, and parents fall for it every time. That baby loves you. They're just mad at the time. Let me say this to you. Never panic when people are fretting. Write this down. Never panic when people are fretting. You stay calm and anticipate box freeing favor to come to your rescue, because it will. All right, the king commanded, so he got the furnace ready, verse 22. All right. All right, let me back up, because I want to find where Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego said they were not going to give in. Oh, yeah, that's verse 16. I apologize. Let me go back and read that. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego replied to the king, said, we do not need to defend ourselves before you in this matter. They said, you want us to bow, but we don't have to argue with you about that. We understand what you're asking to do. We get it. We're not ignorant. We're not non-intelligent people. We know exactly what you're asking. We know exactly what's going to happen to us. That has to be your confession. I know exactly what you're saying, but I need you to understand what I'm saying. I'm saying this time, I'm not changing. You force me to change every other time with that whine, with that complaint, with that whatever. But today is not the day. Someone say, today is not the day. So they said it's not the day. He said, if we are thrown into the furnace, the God we serve will deliver us from it. And he can deliver us, and he will deliver us from your majesty's hand. But even if he does not, we will still not bow to you. Revis paraphrase. You'll read it in detail. So they say, even if God doesn't bring me out of this, I'm not changing. How many have that as your testimony? That even if God doesn't give me this career that I'm crying for and begging for and wanting for and have fought for, even if I don't get there, I'm not changing my confession. I still believe God. Even if God doesn't give me the stability in my finance, I'm still believing God. Even if God doesn't give me my next promotion, I am still believing God. Here's the question. Will you still believe God when the heat gets on you? Let me ask that again. Will you still believe God when the heat gets on you? Or will you anticipate box freeing favor? Now that box could be a fiery furnace. It could be a divorce. You get it? Could be the loss of a loved one. Could be just somebody that's negative. Could be a bad attitude person. Okay, you get it? Whatever that is, something is going to try to get you to change and deny who you are. If you know that is who you are, don't let their argument convince you differently. Let me say that again. If you know who you are, don't let someone's argument convince you differently. They didn't change. So let's drop down here to what happened after they got thrown in. So he heated it up. I'm going to move along. And he got the strongest men to put them in. In other words, he is making it hard for them to resist. There'll be some things wrong. You make it hard for you to resist. Don't fool yourself. Some of you men, you find it hard to resist some of those women that keep coming on to you. Okay? It will happen. And some of you women likewise too. Don't fool yourself. It's not just men, it's women too. You find it hard because they will put the press on you. Okay? And you know I'm telling the truth. No, you hadn't told anybody they put the press on you, but you know it's true. All right? And you know the exact tack that you might yield to. Don't fool yourself. Watch it. You need to anticipate block freeing favor that God will give you a way out of that situation, that it will not consume you. So here they are, strong as men, put the press on, threw them in the furnace. All right. Let's see. So he commanded, okay. So then in verse 24, so after they're thrown in the fire furnace, then King Nebuchadnezzar leaped to his feet with amazement and asked his advisor, were there 3 men tied up that we threw in? Now listen, this furnace burned up men before they got thrown in. And now he is seeing them in the midst of the fire. He should know that's a miracle without even seeing the 4th person. Here's the point. Someone's going to see your life and see the things you've been through and how hard you've worked to maintain who you are and what you are. And they're going to say it has to be a miracle. They're going to believe that, they're going to recognize that no one could have achieved what you achieved, what you had to do to go through it to get there and still be there, still be fighting for it. It's got to be a miracle. Most people would have caved in under the pressure that you've been under, but you haven't caved in because you are anticipating block freeing favor. I need you to hashtag, I'm anticipating my freedom. I'm anticipating my freedom. God's about to unblock something out of your way. But they're in there, and the world is seeing the miracle. All right. So they said, yes, that's what we did. He said, he looked, and I see 4 men walking around the fire, unbound and unharmed, and a fourth looks like the sons of God. Now I want you to notice something here. I believe that not only the king is looking in the fire furnace, but others are looking too. But notice that the king is the only one that saw the miracle that was happening to them. Listen, don't be surprised if not everyone sees the miracle that's happening to you. Everybody else, you're going to look normal. It's going to look like it should be. All of them should have been shocked that these men were still alive. You get it? But only one saw the true miracle. The true miracle is this: that when you walk anticipating block-freeing favor, God walks with you. The Lord himself walks with you. In this case, we believe it's a pre-incarnate Christ. We won't get into the theology. But when you go through this, you must anticipate that God is walking with you. Each time someone comes against you with something that you know is not true, I want you to start see God walking with you. And eventually they'll start seeing God walking with you. And guess what? They'll eventually leave you alone. If they don't see the miracle in your life and they're still bothering you, they're worse off than you anticipated. Nothing you can do about them. You get it? Eventually someone will see that person is walking with God and they have favor on their lives. Okay, let's see if we can finish this. They replied, certainly, master. He said, look, I see them walking around, son of God. Then Nebuchadnezzar approached and he opened and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, are you there? Come here. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came out of the fire. And that's what you're going to do. You're going to come out of the fire. They came out and they were not consumed. They were not burned up at all. You will not fail. I need you to hashtag I will not fail. Hashtag it. I will not fail. Why? Because God is with you. And when you anticipate box free in favor, you will see a deposit. Right? And let me say this to you. It will be a specific miracle that was on reserve for your situation. Box free in favor are specific miracles on reserve, sitting on a shelf in heaven to when you need it. You are not going to see it before it happens, and you might not ever see it after it ends. But at the specific time of the need, God will deposit it. That is what you have to come to believe. And that's why many of us can't walk with anticipating box free in favor, because we want to see it before it gets here. There's no block there. There's no block today. He's holding that for you unreserved. If he gave it to you to handle now, you probably mishandle it. You get it? All right. So with that, let me see if I can go through a few principles that we've talked about here so you can get some clear points to record. All right. If you're following along with Minister Angie Jackson, she does a wonderful job collecting these, and you're free to do likewise. So let me leave a few comments here so that we can make sure you have some principles. So there are 5 principles I want to leave you with tonight, and I'm going to go through them again tonight at a pretty good pace. Principle number 1, if you want to experience this, all right? Because you see, life won't let you avoid the pitfalls. So you need the principles to walk by when the pitfalls come. You get it? So here are the principles to walk by when the pitfalls come after you. So 5 pitfall principles. You ready? Number 1, be willing to make it with God even when the odds don't favor success. Be willing to make it with God even when the odds do not favor success. All right? Why? Let me tell you why. Add this to it. There will be many short-term failures along the way. But if you anticipate God, they won't stop you. You got it? So be willing to make it with God, even if the odds don't favor success, because there will be many short-term failures along the way. That's going to happen in your life. You're going to have some short-term failures. Number 2, don't be scared. Don't be scared or bullied into adjusting to what they want from you. Don't be scared or bullied into adjusting to what they want from you. You cannot live your life by what they want from you. Why? They will want something new every day, and you will fail because you cannot anticipate them. You can only live you. Let me say that again. You can't always anticipate them. You can only live you. So if you're going to try to live them, be prepared to fail every day of your life. And when they find out that you're switching and shifting for them, they're only going to keep you shifting around. You're going to be a dancing pony in the circus. Number 3. Keep a firm heart on what you believe. That's number 3. Keep a firm heart on what you believe. All right? Number 4. Know that the opponent's strength won't ever match God's power. Know that the opponent's strength will never match God's power. That's why you can keep going. I don't care what's stopping you, what's blocking you, what the reason is, how it is. You be determined that somehow God's going to send something to unblock that situation. He's going to take you out of that box. He's going to give you box free in favor. You're going to get out of the box. Hashtag get out the box. Just like I said it, get out the box. Number 5, learn from how favor is working during the ordeal. Learn from how favor is working during the ordeal. Look at the ordeal of these Hebrew men. First, they should have burned up before they got in there because someone else burned up. Second, they should have burned up when they got in there, but they didn't burn up. Third, nobody else should have been able to look in there and see them because they shouldn't have been there. And then they certainly shouldn't have been able to walk out. You need to learn several things from that. Perhaps we'll teach on all those principles. You get it? Something should have happened to them. Okay? But it didn't. All right? That's because they were anticipating box freeing favor. In their case, their box was a fiery furnace. All right? So that brings us then to a definition of box freeing favor that you need to anticipate. So what is box freeing favor? Ready? Box freeing favor is the action of God that's held in reserve for you for a release only during the time of the specific need. Okay? It is an action of God that is held in reserve for you that is released only when the specific time of that need. And when it's released, you will be released. And when it's released, you will be released. So how do you know you've got it? Have you experienced a release? Then you have not positioned yourself for box free in favor. You walked out of something. God was sending you through something and you decide you want to go around it. You missed your opportunity. God was telling you to go right. It didn't feel right, so you went left. You missed your opportunity. God placed you in the right ministry, in the right church. The pastor made you mad one Sunday, or one of the sisters sat in your favorite chair, or somebody asked you to take your baby to the cry room, or something like that, or the drama played too loud, that something happened. Or they didn't dust the furniture that week, or you didn't get to sing your favorite song. They didn't give you a microphone, and nobody gave you a breath mint and an orange juice. Okay? Something happened, and now you miss your opportunity. Don't miss your opportunity. All right? So here's how we get it. Let me tell you these 3 principles of how we get it. If we have more time, we'll share some other things with you. 3 ways to get it. Number 1, live right by God's standards. Even when there are other options. Live right by God's standard, even when there are other options. That's number 1. That's how you get it. You got to say, wait a minute. I go to church. I don't care how painful I feel. I got a headache. I'm just going to have a headache at church. Wait a minute. I serve God. I don't care who else does. Wait a minute. They want me to do these things. They know full well that's not me. That's not what I do. But they'll find a way to pressure you in. And that, oh, do it out of love thing, watch for it. They will box you in with that every time. Let me say this to you. Doing things right by God does not mean you don't love other people. Let me say that again. Doing things that's right by God does not mean you don't love other people. Okay? And number two, so that's number one. Second way you do it is operate respectfully, even with opposition. Even with opposition. Operate respectfully, even with opposition. Never let them talk you out of your respect. These young men never disrespected the king. They gave him his just due. Never be disrespectful, even with the opposition. The opposition is being disrespectful. You don't do that. Okay? You see, not all opponents, let me make a point on this, number two. Not all opponents are purposefully evil. They just don't share your same view. Not all opposition and not all opponents are purposefully evil. They're not always, oh, that's the enemy. No, they may be, but oftentimes they just don't share your view or your faith. And when that's the case, it's going to sound different. You don't have to be disrespectful about it. And number three, don't panic while you're going through the ordeal. Don't panic while you're going through the ordeal. Someone say, well, how will I know I panic? Did you get off track with what you normally do? Then you panic. Or you continue your walk that you know God put you on. You're not. You panicked. You'll know you panicked because you're not doing the thing you would do. Or you the person that used to be loud and now everybody say, I'm tired of you being loud, and now you decide to be quiet. You know that's not you. You panicked. You get it? There are things you talk about, you do, you like to go, well, somebody talked about it. And since they did, you panic. You get it? When you get talked out of being you, you panicked. Let me say it again. When you get talked out of being you, you panic. Hashtag, I'm being me. And the third one, I just told you panic. All right, now here's why you don't panic. In the midst of the ordeal, you need to look for the presence of God. Let me say it again. In the midst of the ordeal, you won't panic if you look for the presence of God. That's how we anticipate box freeing favor, or hashtag BFF. All right? All right? Because you see, BFF is for the downside. All right? It's for the time that says move ahead, even though it's hard. It's for the time when you need to hear stay with God's plan. That's what BFF is for. It's for, okay, when the world excludes you from their party and you still believe you got a party to go to. You follow? BFF, that is box free in favor, lets you take the chance on life when the situation is saying don't take the chance anymore. All right? It lets you risk, okay, trusting God when all else says lay down. So these men did not lay down. They were boxed in. They went into the box, but they still came out because they anticipated by their own testimony that God would be there. So again, you can't avoid the pitfalls, but you can anticipate God's deliverance. So as you're walking your life's destiny and you're walking your direction in life, and you are sincerely doing what you believe to be best in that walk, you can anticipate God to strike against the opposition that will box you in simply because you chose to stand his way. God will release what's on reserve for you if you anticipate it's coming. I need you to believe tonight that you will be the object of God's greatest miracle. This is Dr. Anthony Revis, Faith Ministry Church, Midland, Michigan, USA. God bless.